Azeem Saab is around? Mr. Azeem? Okay, if whom to Musawwir would guide me, who would
I
be
think
speaking?
you should go. We have other panelists as well. Zamir Assadi Saab is here, and
Okay,
also Zulfiqar.
okay. So I would give the floor to Zamir Assadi Saab if he's around.
Ji,
Go
thank you
ahead,
very
Zamir
much.
Assadi Saab.
Yes. Thank you very much once again, Musawwir Saab, your Diplomacy Forum and Ex-Chinese Association. Today's presentation about the energy projects given by our senior expert was very comprehensive, and then Mr. Shams have already talked about many things. So I think there is nothing left for me, but definitely being a journalist, I would like to talk about the significance of these CPEC energy projects. As per my experience working on these CPEC projects since 2013, when the CPEC was initiated, and there were the negotiations between the Chinese and the Pakistani side, and Chinese government, they always asked and asked the Pakistani government that what are your requirements following the local conditions, what are your demands, what you want to develop in your country under this Belt and Road Initiative and the CPEC project, that according to the different terms and conditions, we can invest, we have the money, and we want to fulfill your requirements. So the Pakistani side, they laid down the draft that that was the time. Those were the years when we know that we were facing a huge energy crisis in the country. Our industry was, not performing well following the cut of the energy. Our domestic users were not getting the 24 hours electricity, and our educational system, our hospitals, our mosques, our street lights, there was a complete, like you can say, a blackout, and we were really facing the problems that how we can cope up with this situation. But at that time, the announcement of the Belt and Road Initiative and CPEC was a blessing for Pakistan, and it was a kind of a miracle. And the build up of the energy projects, I think, was a game changer, not only for the Pakistani industries, for the Pakistani exporters, because Pakistani industries were losing its export orders, and they were not able to complete the export orders they were getting from the various countries. So, but with the completion of the energy projects, as the consistent energy supplies were made possible to the industry, so the industries were able to perform at its with its capacity, and you can say they were able to perform and complete the complete production, and able to meet the requirements of the exports. So I think the credit goes to the CPEC energy projects that proved to be the game changers for Pakistani industries, for Pakistani society, for Pakistani hospitals, education system, because our schools were also educational institutions were also not getting that 24 hours electricity, and the students were, they were really getting disturbed. And when they were coming back to homes for the preparation of their exams, there was a lot of problems following the energy crisis. So I think we should give credit that in the first phase, the construction of the energy projects was a top priority for not only Pakistani government, but for the Chinese government then as well, because these are the kind of projects, CPEC project or the BRI is a kind of an initiative that is not only, the projects are not only finalized by the Chinese side, but Chinese, they always take, you can say the suggestions or the requirements from the recipient countries, And then with the mutual consultation, mutual collaboration, with a meaningful consultation based on the win-win situation which they were talking about, these projects are finalized. So the energy projects were finalized, and now we see that although maybe there are some you can say the load shedding issues in the different regions of the country, but there are various problems attached to it. Otherwise, the energy production after the build up of these energy projects is very much improved in Pakistan. And I have personally visited the Carrot hydropower project twice, and I have seen the magnitude, the expertise, the finances which are being invested by the Chinese side. And I think we would like to, we should have to thanks to side. Pakistan was not having the, as we were discussing yesterday, Pakistan was not having such a large scale of financial investment to develop these energy projects. But the Chinese, they were having the resources, they were having the finances, so they helped Pakistan. And there are different projects built on the different criterias, like some of them are built on the build operate transfer BOT basis, and some of them are built on other conditions. But I think overall all of the energy, you can say the platforms like hydropower, solar power, wind power, photovoltaic, every energy option is being utilized under this CPEC project. And Pakistan, I think, is a lucky country that has attracted more than, I think, 15 to 20 billion dollars investment only on these CPEC energy projects. So I think Pakistan must be thankful. Pakistan is greatly thankful to the Chinese side that our energy requirements were effectively met after the development of these CPEC projects. And then there is a second phase now going on. We will witness other energy projects to be completed in the next year in 2024. As I was seeing that 884 megawatt Sukhi Kinari hydropower project is expected to be completed by July 2024. So I think more energy is coming to our national grid, and more requirements of the industry and the domestic users will be fulfilled in the coming years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zamir Assadi Saab, speaking to us and highlighting some of the points related to the arrangements between Pakistani and Chinese companies and the government-to-government collaboration, and the need why we went into those projects and how they are now contributing to our national prosperity, GDP. And we are in fact thankful to our Chinese friends. They reached out to us and we reached out to them, and they solved our energy problem, which was really causing a lot of disturbance. I mean, when we were not having electricity at our homes, and the industry, they were moving out of the country because we were not able to provide them with the energy, with the electricity. So yes, in a way, we are now at least not facing that kind of situation which we were facing in 2008. Especially I remember after the death of Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto, the situation got really situation worsened, and it was really bad days for the country. And from there on, Chinese side, they shouldered the problem with us, and slowly and gradually now I think we are out of that difficult phase thanks to our Chinese friends. Now I would bring in Mr. Usman Zulfiqar, as I am told by Mr. Musawwir Tanuli that he is around, and he would also share a word with us in the panel. So Mr. Usman Zulfiqar, over to you if you are here.
Yes, thank you so very much. It was really, again, a wonderful session, and the presentation presented by our expert earlier. Then the comments from the respective panelists. This energy projects of the CPEC and this topic that I got the opportunity to speak about. Basically, when we look, it's already been said by the respective panelists and the expert that when in the time after the Pakistan was transited to the regular democratic government of Pakistan People's Party, and then after Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz and these successive periods, Pakistan was facing an acute kind of mm, energy crisis, and there was I still also remember I was then a student under a school. Maybe it was a kind of an energy crisis, like the load shedding was at its peak, even in the holy months, and even in the winters. Pakistan was not affording the energy and the electricity that it can provide to the people. In 2015, Pakistan was facing the over 5,000 megawatts of shortfall, and in 2008 maybe it was 4,000 of megawatt shortfall, which Pakistan was facing in energy crisis. Then it came with the CPEC. CPEC actually brought a little change. There are more we can discuss on it. Yet there is a kind of cooperation between Pakistan and China over energy security. There are particularly the four main pillars of shared partnership between Pakistan and China, and one of them is energy. The others are geostrategy, economy, and the security. So they both cooperated well on all these aspects. When it comes to the energy projects, which China spent almost China under the CPEC, it has been spent 33.779 or $33.8 billion for energy projects under the CPEC. Then it's also likely to be understood productively and critically that these energy projects should should produce more than 1,700,000 electricity. They are still doing enough. They have generated 6,000 or more megawatts of electricity, but it really needs that Pakistan and China, and particularly for the Pakistan, I wouldn't blame China. I wouldn't say China doesn't doing enough, because it's our own responsibility to combat with the modern day challenges. If Pakistan's electricity shortfall megawatt were 5,000 in 2015, and it reduced until 2018 and 19, but and it was said that Pakistan would have eliminated the energy crisis until 2019, but still when until the last June, Pakistan's electricity shortfall jumped to 700 around, or 6,800 megawatts. So with the modern day needs and the modern day requirements, Pakistan should also critically and productively think about that Pakistan's requirements are increasing, and with these projects uh, is that enough that Pakistan will meet its will meet its end, or Pakistan should extend or expand these energy projects? So another thing is that uh, there is definitely, yesterday I also talked about the climate crisis that Pakistan and the whole South Asia is in. Very recently, when it came with the talk of Gwadar power plant, which was on the pipeline since 2015, from the earlier days of the signing of CPEC, there is a debate over that the Gawadar power plant has been run by through the coal energy, and again it's harmful, and it's definitely disastrous for the climate, and it's already seeking some criticism from the sectors of community, and obviously there is some international pressure. So Pakistan needs to again revise these policies, or think about it, where Pakistan can get. So far it's very good that Pakistan and China together collectively under the CPEC completed 14 projects. 2 are under construction, and almost 5 which are under consideration. Then again, Pakistan should need to look at it, that these power projects would ultimately end our energy crisis, or we would definitely need to do some add some other in the pipeline, or should go for some other means as well. Then when it comes to the energy projects or energy cooperation between China and Pakistan, it was obviously the China's interest as well. When we look at it, China's provinces which were not that much connected with the Beijing or Eastern Sea View, these provinces like Xinjiang are China's own oil supplies, which were under the Malacca dilemma, which were under the risk always. They are also secure now with the I think the western route. Maybe they are not now secured as from the Gwadar port. Their oil supplies wouldn't be cut anymore. So, and in that respect, China's energy, their energy problem wouldn't be any more. Then again, there is always a question that how that China is exploiting Pakistan or colonizing Pakistan, or these kinds of things we hear. But I do think that that whenever it's been the talk from China, whenever it's been energy project or any of the project proposed by China, it's based on the mutual benefit. It's based on the shared destiny. It's based on shared productivity for both the countries. As the respective panelists also mentioned, that China always ask the demands from the respective countries. So this is not only happening for Pakistan, but the same they have the same policy for Iran. They have the same policy for the West Asia. They have the same policy for the Europe as well. Including Italy. I recently heard Italy was seeking to leave from BRI, but when it joined BRI, it was asked, and it was meant to deal with their problems. So it's never like the China one-sidedly exploited any country. If China had some interests from energy projects as the CPEC projects or a Belt and Road Initiative from one country or another, that one country or another also has some kind of interest and the benefits from that when entangled with China. Therefore, I would suggest and recommend at the end that Pakistan needs to put its own house in order. That, as already I mentioned, that that until 29 it was a thought or an analysis that Pakistan would not be facing any more energy crisis in the country. But still, I've also mentioned that Pakistan is not meeting its end because of the modern day needs and requirements have been increased. So Pakistan should need to put its own house in order first, needs to settle down its own problems. One of the major problems is the political strife between the political parties. These parties should sit together for the Pakistan's future rather than their internal or their vested interests. Thank you so very much. I'd be stopping here. I would love to answer any question. Thank you.